Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. Hey everyone, welcome back to Black Belt Beauty Radio. I've got a great Sunday on the fly Solsode for you guys. Man, I sat down with a different intention for this episode. Truth be told, full transparency. And the episode just kind of every time I attempted recording, I would just flatten out a couple minutes in. And after several attempts, I was over it. I was like, all right, I'm about to become very frustrated. So I did something really important. I pulled back. I surrendered. I let go. And I breathed in some space, and what that does, I'm just sharing this process because I think it's an important process to share. And I like being transparent, keeping it fucking real the whole way through. What that does is when we let go, when we start to feel like we are frustrated or tense or things like that, we just allow ourselves to kind of open back up. And when we do that, then we can receive the answer. We can receive the solution. We can receive, the information. I mean, the greatest example of this, you guys, is when you lose something and you're like trying so hard to find it. And the minute you let go, and you're just like, fuck, I'm over it. I'm just going to give it a break right now. Then you reach into your pocket a few minutes later in your coat and boom, there's the key. It's like, it's so classic because it's so true. It's like, man, we can't cling, if we cling, we're just going to frustrate ourselves and we're not going to move forward, and we want to keep moving forward, right? So that being said, I surrendered, you guys. I let go and I breathed in some space and I took a good look around me. And I'm sitting here in my creative space, which could also be called an office. I just choose not to call it that because as an artist, I want to sit in a space that inspires me to create at the highest level. And the space does that to me. And part of why it does that to me is because I am surrounded with the most powerful words, the most elevating messages that just keep me so in a state of alignment. Or when I'm not feeling aligned, they remind me, of that state and pull me back into it. So really, you guys, these are tools. They're tools I rely on. And, a couple of my intentions when I create these solo episodes, the two main intentions are this. I want you to feel elevated upon listening to it. I want to serve you in the most supportive way, to make you feel so strong, so self-connected, so capable as you continue this pursuit of performing at your highest level in life, creating the things that you want for your life. So that's intention number one. Intention number two is I want to give you actual strategies and tips and tools that allow you to do that, that support you to do that. Tools that I rely on, strategies that I actually use for me to perform at my highest level in all areas of my life every single day. So that being said, I'm looking at these words and I'm like, shit, you got to share these words. That's it. Share these words with them right now because maybe, hopefully, these words are going to resonate with them wherever they are in their life right now. I really have to act like a channel. It's such an intuitive process. What do you guys need the most right now, So I love the topic that I was going to break down and get into. Today wasn't the day. It'll come out at another time. And I know that will be the right time for it when it does. So I want to get into this. I just want to share a few of them with you because they're really special to me and they do exactly what I just said. They serve me at the highest level. I've been writing for the majority of my life and I really believe that is what has bridged me to have such a profound connection to words. I take them in as energy. So I hope that this resonates with you. These words resonate and support you wherever you are right now in your process. So when you're done with this episode, you're like, fuck yeah. That's my goal every single time. All right. So the first message, this is really special, you guys, because the words came from within me. I was meditating one day, a long time ago, actually, but the words feel just so brand new. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. And in fact, if you listen to the Michelle Watterson episode, the one just before this, you probably heard them, and you're going to hear them again in some future episodes coming out because they're really powerful. So I was feeling uneasy at this moment in my life, and I asked my inner self, my highest self, for something to support me so I could just feel more at ease, right? And these are the words that came to me, and they really served me in that way. Nothing means anything except the meaning you decide to give to it. Nothing means anything except the meaning you decide to give to it. So why I love this so much is because it's absolutely fucking true. It's so true, you guys. It all comes down to the way we're looking at it, whatever it is, and I really believe that life is just a bunch of fucking information. Every single day, it's just a bunch of information. What separates us as individuals and what separates our lives to be individually what they are is what we decide to do with the information, how we uniquely respond or react to the information that we're receiving, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this question is, the statement is so powerful because it forces me to ask a question where I go, in that moment, I literally was like, is it you? Like, are you looking at it this way? Oh yeah. You're fucking looking at it like this right now. And that's why you're feeling uneasy. But guess what? You don't have to look at it like this. You don't have to. I mean, oftentimes we start projecting things like way down the line, right? We're creating this kind of unease and this fear, something that's never even going to happen. It's so interesting. The brain is so fascinating to me. So, when I received those words, you guys, I felt like a sense of ease immediately rush over me because it put me right back in the emotional driver's seat. Like I gained control of my emotions. And I really love this idea of being very emotionally resilient. I put that out there all the time on Black Belt Beauty. Train the mind. So, it's not to say that sometimes there are scenarios where the correct feeling is frustrated, right? Like just as an example, because it's a fucking frustrating situation. But here's what I want to express. I feel like that the most important piece here. We decide the volume of the emotion. We decide what emotions are going to be leading us, right? We can't decide how we're, like if a frustrating scenario happens, yeah, I'm going to feel frustrated in that moment. But I get to decide, is that what I want to lead myself with? And just to kind of keep playing off of the feeling of frustration. What happens when we lead ourselves with frustration? Nothing good. That's when we get rear-ended by somebody, or we rear-end somebody, or we break the glass, or we get an annoying phone call, we stub our toe. Like, it's just not energy that we want to be leading us, because essentially it's like we're creating with it, right? So what are the emotions that I personally want myself creating with? I'm very picky about this shit. Like, I only want love and creativity and, inspiration, joy, passion. Those emotions they can take me wherever the fuck they want to take me. I'm all in. Like, take me. Because I know that I'm only going to land in great places and great things are going to come from, the creation from those emotions. So those words, nothing means anything except the meaning you decide to give it, just reminds me that, hey, you're looking at this way, and or you're deciding that this emotion in you is allowed to override you and lead you. But it doesn't have to. You can turn the volume down on this. You can look at this a different way. You can give your attention to something else. So it's such a powerful statement. And no matter how emotionally resilient I am and will further become in my life, I am so grateful to have these words, because I know that my life is going to ask me to lean into them sometimes, again and again and again. There are going to be times where I'm going to feel uneasy again. I might be nervous. I may, all that stuff. And I just get to, it's like a great way to check myself and go, okay, wait, does this scenario, is it worthy of making you feel like this? Because if it's not, then just change the channel. Don't look at it that way, And if it's a genuine feeling, like, if yes, that is the actual situation and that is the correct emotion that goes with it. Okay. Well, you get to decide, Roxanne, whether you want this emotion to be up on full blast or if you kind of just accept it and start giving your attention to something else. Look at something, look at it from a different perspective. Maybe there's always a different way we can look at something. We can always find light in something if we want to. I know that could be annoying to hear sometimes, but it's so fucking true. We can always find the good. We can always look to the light. Always, and I don't know, man, that just helps me. It just helps me stay very strong in my mind, very emotionally stable and in control, and very picky. Very fucking snobbish about what emotions I'm leading myself with. So that's number one. I hope it resonates with you. I hope that you love them too. They feel like a gift when I receive them. So I'm giving them as a gift to you too. So the next one is, so badass, man. I didn't write these words, but I frame them because they're super sexy and they're very important. And I, take them in every day, especially when I'm creating. So the words are, rule number 1, fuck what they think. Rule number 1, fuck what they think. I remember telling this to my best friend and she was like, it's like rule number 1, 2, and 3. I'm like, exactly. It's so true, man. We cannot afford to give our most valuable asset, our attention to, the external noise, the external thoughts and opinions and judgments and perceptions, and choose to give that more attention to our inner knowing and voice. And, it's like how many people walk around this earth and are not living at their fullest potential for that reason, because they care more about what others people think about them. How many people, here's the thing, this is so important right here. Ready? Okay. When we are not abiding by rule number 1, we are not being authentic to ourselves. So I'm going to say that again. When we're caring more about what others people think and we're allowing that to infect our process and direct our actions, we are not fucking being authentic to ourselves. I don't know about you guys, but the most important thing to me in my life is to remain authentic in every second of every minute of every hour of every day of every week of every year of my fucking life. Straight up. Like, I cannot say it more passionately than that. To me, my idea of success, that's a huge part of it. Did you remain authentic and still accomplish these goals and these visions that you have? Because a lot of people will stray from their most authentic self to gain more, to gain it faster, or again, like out of fear, out of fear of what others think. And I'm personally not going to allow that to happen. And I love reading these words like in this sexy frame right next to me every single day, because it just reminds me, hey, you know what's up. Like, listen to that voice that's guiding you inside. Follow that purpose, follow that vision. And regardless of what anybody fucking thinks about it, anybody, it's so important, even people that you love, man. There are times where like, hey, I've had to disregard, what a family member thought and chose to, listen to my feelings instead and take action from that place. And it ended up serving me, and I'm not saying, dismiss the people that you love, their opinion. Fuck no. My counsel is badass and I listen. I rely on them and I lean on them and I love their advice and their opinion is so important to me. However, so is mine. So is mine. Nobody knows, I don't know, man. And this will probably, I have to be careful. I'll get in the weeds here, but I just think that it's so important to listen to your truth. Listen to that feeling, when something's exciting you, when something's elevating you, when something is so, passionately driving you, even if it doesn't make sense to people outside of you, that are close to you, like just fucking go for it, listen to your voice. I really don't believe that we're going to land in a place that we don't want to be in when we're staying true to ourselves. I don't. So most importantly, fuck the external noise, the people that we don't even know or that don't even care about us. Like, what? Why are we giving them our attention? Why are we allowing them to dictate how we're going to create this or what we're going to go after or not go after. You know what I mean? Like, no. So rule number 1, fuck what they think. I can go off on that one for a while. I got to be careful here. I got a few more to get out. Okay. So the next one is just as magnificent, in my opinion. What if you just turned your magic all the way the fuck on? I mean, what if, you guys? What if? I love asking myself that question. Like literally, hey, Roxanne, what if you just turned your magic all the way the fuck on? Not halfway, not almost all the way, but like full blast. Turn that shit on. So what it essentially means to me, you guys, is don't hold back. Don't hold back. Be your most boldest, bravest, truest, brightest, most illuminated fucking self. Just do it. We've got one life that I know about. If there's more, I don't know about it yet. One life. What are we doing if we're not living at our fullest potential every single day? What are we doing? We're doing a disservice to ourselves and to the world. Shine your fucking light. Be your boldest self. What's going to happen? What if? Probably a lot of wonderful things. Sure, not probably easy all the time, you know? It takes a lot of courage to be full on with yourself, like to really express yourself at the highest level. You're going to take up space in the world, and that's a beautiful fucking thing. It's beautiful. It's a brave act for sure. It's beautiful and it's important. It's very fulfilling, in my opinion. You know, I want to look back at all my days and be like, yeah, you know, I was lit every single day to the best that I could be in that moment. And I gave it everything I got. And, you know, it's, you know, tomorrow I'll ask myself to be even more magnificent and turn my magic even higher. But I want to know every single day that I'm giving it my best effort from my highest, fullest self. It's very important to me. So I think those words were worthy of sharing with you. What if you just turned your magic all the way the fuck on? So brilliant. Okay. The next one, manifest with precision. Yeah, you guys, man, let's be precise about what we want to create, what we want to actualize, what we want to manifest, right? Like fucking get clear. How do we get clear? Well, we have to, you know, think about all the details. We have to get into the nuances of not just what we want, but even why we want it. That gives us more clarity. Why do we want it in the first place, right? That all lends to being more precise. And I love that. First of all, what a fun process to go on a cerebral adventure and really get into the nuances of like what you want and why you want it. I love to journal I do this in my journal. So it's like I act as if I future pace. I'm already there. I've actualized the whole scenario of this thing that I want to manifest, right? It's kind of like reverse engineering. So I'm there. I'm taking it all in. All of my senses are alive and feeling this actualized, you know, manifestation. And what it really supports me to do is to feel a deeper connection to what I want. And when I feel a deeper connection, I swear it's the energy that makes it fucking happen. I've already manifested some of the most incredible things that are I feel like I need to do a whole episode on manifesting, truly, because I have manifested some badass shit. I have this little, you know, one of those like light up boards where you can change the letters and the words or whatever. And mine says, I am a manifesting badass, because I really do feel like that. It's part of what has supported my ability. I firmly credit this to manifesting some of the most incredible things in my life is I get into the details of it. I get very precise. I'm not lazy. I use my imagination to the fullest extent of my ability. So I really love keeping those words around me and reminding me to be very clear and precise about what I'm, you know, choosing, what I want to manifest. So there's your reminder to do the same. Manifest with precision, you guys. Okay. So the next word is, oh man, this is so appropriate to this episode. So it's just a word. And, but it's not just a word. It's like, there's no just in front of it, but just meaning it's not a message. It's just the power of this word. And I love it. I just want to take a deep breath when I see it. And it's something that I write in my journal every day. So the word is surrender. Surrender. Every day in my journal, just to be very open and share with you guys, I always write, I surrender to my highest self to guide me because I just trust her. She's not the one that's afraid. She's not worried about it. She's not, there's no resistance in her. She just knows exactly how to get me from where I am to everywhere I want to be in my life. So I let go and trust her. I surrender to her. Surrender is so interesting, right? Because, so like this episode, for example, surrender is not, letting go in a state of not caring, obviously. It's the opposite, in fact. It's that you care so much that you're not willing to get in your own way. And we know so often that a lot of times when we're not getting where we want to go or getting what we want to get or any of that, it's because we're getting in our own fucking way. So when we surrender and we let go, again, I said this in the beginning of the episode, we open up. Like we just open up and we can receive. We receive the answers. We receive the information, the inspiration, the ideas, the solutions. We get to receive all that stuff because we just let go and we surrendered. Not to mention, we just breathe in some ease and some space. It's really important. So, to look at those words every day, whether I'm consciously reading them or subconsciously taking them in because they're visible in front of my eyes, they are so powerful to me, so worthy of sharing to you as a reminder that, what are you holding on to something too tight right now that's not letting you move forward? Is there resistance inside of you? Is there tension? Let go. Don't fucking cling. You know what I love? I love this, you can't snap a string. I know I've said that before in the podcast, but you can't snap a string. You got to be loose. We can't hold on too tight. We got to surrender just enough so we can flow, right? If I didn't surrender at the beginning of this podcast, I wouldn't even have this juicy shit to be sharing with you right now, right? And I feel like, I don't know, it feels really good inside as I'm sharing it with you. So I hope that that's, the actual effect that's having on you right now. So you guys, surrender. Okay, so the next one is courage. Courage every day, every single day, more and more and more. I feel like a very courageous woman. I've done a lot of bold, brave things in my life to date. And, it's for sure required courage for me to do that stuff. But here's the thing, no matter how courageous I might be, every day I'm going to need to be more courageous. And here's why. Because every day I'm reaching for something bigger. I'm going for something more challenging. I seek those challenges. I want to grow from them. I want to expand. I want to create from the highest version of myself and, create this fucking masterpiece that I call my life. And every single day, that means I need to be braver because I'm doing something bigger, so that word just to take in every day, just really, it's like a reminder. Hey, it also actually acts like a question. I love this question. So Roxanne, what if you are your most courageous self today? What do you think you can produce? What do you think you'll experience if you're just operating from your most courageous self today? It's really a powerful question. Again, I love asking questions like this because you get deeper into your purpose when you ask questions, right? Otherwise, these words are surface. Surrender, courage. I know, love yourself. Why? Why though? Why? What happens if you do? When you ask yourself these questions, you guys, you become more connected to the reasons why. When we have reasons why, we have purpose, and nothing is more powerful than a strong purpose driving us forward, right? When we have strong purpose, we're fucking unstoppable. So, courage. Worthy of sharing with you in this episode. Another very, very, very important word to share with you right here that kind of rests underneath all these words is trust. We can't really surrender if we don't trust. We can't abide by rule number 1, fuck what they think, if we don't trust. if we don't trust in ourselves, if we don't trust in, where we're at, our process, if we don't trust in the infinite support that is here for us in our lives, if we're choosing to believe that it is. Like, I mean, a couple years ago, I was, again, in another state where the uncertainty in my life was, making me feel a little uneasy. And I'm laying in my bed and this question basically came to me. And it was, Roxanne, you either trust or you don't. And that's it. You got to pick a side. What side is it? And it's so like the bottom line, that I had to pick a side. What side? Yeah, what is it, Roxanne? Do you trust? Do you trust that things are working out for you? Do you trust that even though you don't know, you don't have the answer, you can't see what's coming next? Do you trust that it's going to be something that serves you at the highest level, that's going to keep you moving in the direction that you want to go? Fuck yeah. I choose to trust. My life is an unpaved path, right? Like, I'm an artist and I'm creating from my heart, from my intuitive self, from my passion, from my purpose. Nobody's sitting here telling me, do this, do that, and you're going to land here. Nope. It's all coming from me. It's a beautiful thing. I choose this life. I love my life. It takes a lot of trust every fucking day to live this life. If I'm not trusting, what am I doing? If I pick the other side, I mean, damn, I'm essentially betting against myself. I'm choosing worry. I'm choosing to bet against myself, to bet against my life. Why would I do that? Why? No. I mean, if something is really causing you to not trust your situation, then maybe you need to, check your situation. That's a statement that is important in of itself. But for the most part, when we ask ourselves that question, like, do you trust or not? And if you're doing the best that you can, if you know that, if you do feel like you are in a state of alignment and that you're, that you're operating from your truth, then fuck, man, you got to trust it. You just have to, right? And that's when you surrender. And that's when you are operating from your most courageous self. That's when you get to turn your magic all the way the fuck on. And that's when you really stop caring about what they think. And you're operating from your most authentic self. And you're being driven from your purpose, You guys, there's so many more words I can share with you. I feel like they're like me. But I want to let those just soak in right now because they're so important. Nothing means anything except the meaning you decide to give to it. Rule number 1, fuck what they think. What if you just turn your magic all the way the fuck on? Surrender. Courage. Trust. Pretty simple, right? Oh, how could I forget this one? Manifest with precision. So sexy. So, you guys, I hope with all of my heart that some of, if not all, these words really elevated you, resonated with you, feel like and acted like reminders for you to just get deeper into yourself and be operating from your most authentic self, to love yourself up, to turn your fucking magic all the way on, to manifest with precision and just, keep kicking ass, from your highest potential. I would love to know if they did. I would love to know. Please, if they did, share this up on your Instagram stories. Let me see it. DM me. Give me your thoughts. Your feedback is so important to me, especially because, like I said, this is such an intuitive process for me. So whenever I receive your feedback, it's so helpful because it just keeps me operating from this intuitive place. And, at the end of the day, I'm operating from my most authentic self, and like I said, I don't feel like that's ever going to land me in a wrong place. So I hope that right now, when you're done listening to this, you just feel like, fuck yeah, let's go. I feel like that right now. So I'm going to get into this beautiful Sunday, carry on with my life, sending you guys all of my love, so much love. And, just always looking forward to being right back here with you very, very soon. Lots of love, you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, RoxyLook. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And last but not least, if you are interested in starting your own podcast, or perhaps you already have one and you need help with, editing your audio and the production of it, I cannot recommend my producers enough. Resonate Recordings, you guys, they are the bomb. I rely on them. They are an absolute supportive tool to me and my podcast. So check them out and let them know that Black Belt Beauty sent you. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.